Hello, we are going to be checking out the Esoteric Ebb, which is now in a full release state. I just checked this out a couple days ago during the Steam Next Fest. It's been about an hour in there, just getting a feel for the game and getting a feel for the demo. I know the progress carries over, but I'm also not going to just make that the first episode. I want to kind of do a let's play of this and jump in and see what it is. And there may have been changes between the demo version and the full release version. And now that I know a little bit more about the game, I kind of want to approach it a little differently. So, and I don't want to rely on people having to go back and watch the demo to see like my quote unquote episode 1. So even though this may just be for me and my sake of completionism and wanting to kind of like separate a let's play from a demo, I think it's still worth it to go back and check it out again. So I'm going to be doing that. If you did not see the demo, I'll give you up to speed here really quick. Esoteric Ebb is a single-player CRPG inspired by the freedom of tabletop adventures. Unravel a political conspiracy with your goblin sidekick. Roll dice, intense encounters, become a cleric of legends, or completely ruin the campaign. And for those that are not aware, the term that's come up around games like this, I think, is disco-like. I don't know if these creators are going to love it very much or not, but it definitely is a Disco Elysium-like in some ways, mixed in with some D20, like Dungeons and Dragons kind of systems and stats, and then obviously a D20 roll system, but then kind of set in its own unique world. I really liked what I saw when I played the demo. Yeah. Never mind. They even say it, an isometric disco-like, so they're using that term themselves. That's perfect. So, yeah, we will check out the video here just to kind of see what the game's about.
5 days before the first ever election, somebody blows up a tea shop. Nobody wants to touch this mystery with a 10-foot pole. And so they send you, the cleric, a master of the esoteric, to find answers. Juggle the political factions of the city, the remnant nationalists, the revolutionary freestriders, and the eternally infighting Asgalists. Join them, or play them against each other, then delve into the tunnels below to uncover the twisting truth. Solve the mystery of the tea shop, not by playing it safe, but by failing over and over again. Play Esoteric Ebb. Become the world's worst cleric.
Okay. All right, Christopher.
I'm Christopher Bodegård, the developer of Esoteric Ebb. In Esoteric Ebb, you are the cleric, a glorified civil servant in a fantasy metropolis on the brink of its first ever election. The events of Ebb start when you're sent to investigate a magical incident, an explosion at a tea shop in your city of Norvik. Depending on how high or low you make the stats, your experience will radically differ with each playthrough. Your political alignment, how you approach a quest, and even your dialogue choices are all affected by your ability scores. The stats will chime in and nudge you in directions that align with their personalities, not always to your benefit. Ebb is all about being the player at the table, making the most interesting decisions, and finding your own unique solutions. Whenever a challenge appears, a 20-sided die will be rolled. Then you add or subtract any modifiers to reach that final number. If you find a challenge you couldn't possibly succeed at, there are always ways to make your life easier. Explore the branching dialogues, gather information from around the city, or wield mighty spells to improve your chances. Every little choice matters and will affect how the cleric navigates sticky situations. Don't forget to wishlist Esoteric Ebb on Steam for updates on our road to launch. Thank you.
That's cool. I did not expect a message from the developer. All right, we can keep watching that, but I think we got gist of it. I certainly do, and I really, really enjoyed it. So we're going to jump in and do a new game here. Okay, switch over to game. And on my previous playthrough, I'm still level 1. I mean, I'm barely out of the first little area. And I was kind of playing it safe with the stats, not wanting to do anything negative, but mainly focused on my social stats like intelligence, wisdom, and charisma rather. That was fine. I think I might want to go like on the new game. I kind of wanted to go more, just crank the dial to 11 on a couple stats maybe, rather than trying to play middle of the road. Although I do think there's value in trying to do a middle of the road playthrough. It seems like this game definitely rewards you for excelling in a certain stats, and then even if you fail at the other ones, you'll fail spectacularly. And we can get into RPG design and things like that later, but I really think most of my favorite games, and D&D, unfortunately, like, if you want me to take a side game rant, D&D, unfortunately, is not one of them. If you fail, nothing interesting happens. There are other RPG systems where if you fail the roll, something interesting still happens. Failure still moves you forward, like you can literally fail forward. And I tend to prefer those game systems. This seems to have some of that philosophy there, that if you fail, you still fail big, and you fail in ways that can maybe still, maybe not your intended consequence, but still has some kind of consequence other than just you do not pass. So I'm going to kind of take another look at this real quick just to go through. So this is definitely regaining honor, set out to do a divine mission, become a zealot in terms of strength. This is more about self-preservation and freedom. And this is in addition to what these abilities do. Like it'll tell you uses, right? You know, higher strength, more extra items, be violent, increase your manhood. Dashing rogue. To use the Constitution, more hit points, control your body and its esoteric connection. Your political party pull 2% and you do not care, and pain is good. So yeah, intelligence is this is kind of one of the ones that interested me because you're kind of more of a wizard character and using your intellect. I really think I might like somebody who had, like, you can prepare more spells, you can have an actual plan, you can vote for yourself to become like the wizard king or whatever and be a genius without peers. I like that they also tell you what a high and low intelligence has, right? Solves mysteries with ease, masters arcane magic. And then wisdom, obviously. Your belief. See the good in all folk. More kind of a guy that working class, empower some of your spells. Masters primal magic. The reading body language like a champ is interesting because that's like kind of an insight. So I don't know if I want to neglect it totally. And then charisma, smooth talking your way in and everything. The only thing I didn't like about this, apolitical force of nature, and you say whatever it is to people like you, like it's almost like you have no conviction. Like you're so worried about being arguably sociopathic. Like, so this kind of source is interesting. Votes for whatever makes him popular. I don't know. Most of my control people sees truth as a suggestion, has no soul, or has no. Yeah, it's interesting. And I know I just saw some of these, but I'm just curious about it. I think I'm gonna go. I really do. The only other way I was thinking about is either high intellect or high strength. Either playing somebody who's just a force of will with high strength and no wisdom or charisma or intelligence, and just like, you know, thick as a brick, and just, you know, there's one path forward, and that is to achieve the mission by whatever means necessary. I think that would be a fun playthrough, but I kind of think I want to lean into this wizard role more, and I definitely want to pick wizard as a proficiency here. So I'm going to take these off and put it into intelligence. Is this smart? I don't know. I'd like to think that it could be interesting, but I don't know. And then my other proficiency, currently in strength. Maybe I do make that charisma. I can't, I can only top out at 15 here. Interesting, you don't have to max your, oh, interesting. Why can I do that, but I can't level this up anymore? Yeah, I can go 16 in charisma, but I can only go to 15 in intelligence. Is that because, oh, because maybe, oh, it's my background. That's why. Okay, so we need to change this around. And again, I think these are just stats. I don't think there's anything here that is spectacularly. Yeah, do lore enthusiast, crowd pleaser. Doing anything to get real friends. I don't know that I'm that much of a crowd pleaser. I like Tower Apprentice, and this maybe guides me in a direction that I wasn't thinking originally. Maybe instead of charisma, I lean more into Constitution and go something like this. Your natural stamina, but then on physical, is how much you can take before going down. So yeah, more hit points is better. Listen to your gut and instincts. Be maybe kind of a hardy wizard. Controls your body and its esoteric connection, which is magic. The apathy kind of factors into, I don't think any political party is good, but maybe myself. And then, yeah, I think we do this. I think we're going to go in and be a wizard with a really hardy constitution and be just pretty damn terrible at everything else and see what happens. And that leans into this whole Tower Apprentice thing, right? Maybe he just read a lot of books and did a lot of like physical exercise to keep his constitution up and to be able to channel the esoteric magic, but wasn't really didn't really have much of a life outside of the tower. And it's interesting. I don't know what's going to do my wisdom when you're supposed to be a cleric, and everything in my D&D nature says like you must pick a high wisdom. But I think we're gonna roll with this. I think this is the way to do it. Well, it was. What? Wait a minute. Did it not? Did I not do the right thing? Oh, you know what? Never mind. Yeah, we're gonna be a muscle wizard. We're gonna cast fist. Make them all bow down before you. That's interesting. That changes based on your stats and everything in the outlook. That does seem definitely different based on how you've approached this. Okay, I like that it gave you a little bit of crap for having low stats too. Like even the opening crawl has adjusted to our specific character. I bet you there is some replayability in this based on that alone. Maybe I should have buffed up my other stats instead of strength and just went intelligence with some flat stats across the board everywhere else, but I think it's too late to go back now. Friggin' Hamlin is my name. Your answer another question from the darkness. What is your occupation? You aimed at patriarch. More realistically, you would have ended up ascender. What's an occupation in this concept? You have a job, something really important. Your class, okay. Please no, I don't want to be a sender. Politics of the towers wouldn't allow for much else now, would it? I have a very important job to do. Way too important, you'll never make it out alive. Oh. It takes a while before the next question is posed. What is your current goal? You're a hero. By divine dictate, only you can save the world. With your gift, you can easily take control one day. Well, hello. I like that these are my conflicting options. The goblin chieftain, she needs you. My goal? To rule the world. It is only right. No reply, no feedback. What is your political affiliation? The question strikes your entire consciousness, sending it spinning. The National Party of Norvik, of course. Theocracy is a farce. Don't stoop so low. It is the Asgalists. Yes, they are decent, possibly. It is the duty of the powerful to lead. That is you, no one else. The Freestriders, maybe? And again, you're no revolutionary. Things move way too fast these days. Elections are... I should be in charge. As God, King, Wizard, Lord. Yeah, well, that's where we're going, yeah. Once we based our worth on knowledge and ability, it shall come again. The voice is fading. This is the end. The final question. How did you die? Following your convictions. I fell into divinity. She took me whole. That sounds suitably cryptic. And I've seen this before when I played the demo, but it's no less striking this time. Like Christopher and the team that has worked on this game has made a very, very striking piece of art. Music is choice as well. Oscar, hell of a job. Art team, great job. Programmers, editing, top notch. Also, I like that they're crediting the other people up front instead of making us wait to finish the game and like go to a credits scene. Like these people deserve to be heralded up front, and more games should do that. I like that the lines reflect each of the stats and their associated colors. And once I finished the demo, I could not stop thinking about this game, and it's really one of the only things I wanted to come back and do and play it. So I'm very fortunate that it released so quickly. Okay, so I see our broken sword over there on the barrel. I didn't get that last time on my run, and I'm not going to constantly reference what I did last time, but I think it is, I'm not going to, obfuscate the fact that I played a little bit of this before. All right. A fresh start. Get up. Your body aches. It's stiff as if you've slept for days. Ready for your glorious quest to continue. Check your stuff. What stuff? Hands right around your pouch and uniform. Panic sweat. Your legs shake. Tears begin to form. I still maintain this is my one biggest drawback with this. If you're going to be a disco-like, voiceover is huge. I know this is a very small team, and I know voiceover work is expensive, and I'm happy they haven't used AI, but I'm not a voice actor, and, the voice acting bar in Disco Elysium for all these different personality aspects that you encountered in that game really set a high bar, like set it really, really high, and I get that, but I really wish that this stuff was voice acted. Deep breaths. Your belongings are surely here somewhere. Let's look around. A circular stone chamber, a storage for apples and corpses. There's piles of apples. Is this Tolstad? Props for giving us these little click-ons that we can then expand ideas and add them to our journal. Tolstad is a sprawling island fortress in one of the 5 districts of the city. It's in the middle of the river Torna, home of Jor's Pillar, a sprawling tunnel network, and water lane, the greatest trade hub in Ascani. You are in Tolstad right now. Perfect. All right, 1 hit point because of the quest. Yes, a quest. A task performed by a heroic individual or professional adventure. Thank you, game. Got a quest to save the city. Earth be blessed. Earth, your god. Save the city? Yes, save it from the jaws of democracy. Democracy is said to originate from the early Arcane era, civilizations in Old Dimenor. As the rule of majority, those with suffrage may vote to enable their preferred government, a truly massive and ineffective process. 511 years of rapid magical and technological growth, as well as the birth of the death of the great human magocracies in Dimenor, now reads, ended 27 years ago. That's interesting. It sounds like they were onto something. As speaking myself as a newly chosen wizard, do I remember everything? I'm not sure. Do you have some sort of amnesia? No. Just remember it. Your thoughts are scattered, but your memory is intact. Okay, what was the quest again? You got a job, the tea shop job. Tea shop job. Yep, the tea shop that blew up. It'll be a tough one. Might take days. Just a job, so I've done this before. Yeah, it looks big. You haven't really. Your previous experience lies more as some basic Uthgard militia service, as well as a few years at the towers. Rogue sorcery was not your main subject, but yes, you've read a lot about these types of fiery events. They're not too common these days, however, the incident does not appear overly complex. Quest, I like those. Hey, Morksby. Good attitude. There's always more around the corner, so look out. Don't want to miss any. How much time do I have? Till the election, which is in 5 days. The Patriarch was very clear. Handled the tea shop before election day. Patriarch, a top clerical rank in Norvik, different from the Lord Patriarch, which is the traditional administrative leader of the city. Only about a dozen men currently hold the rank. They manage a section of clerics, each at the towers. You must honor this request and complete this quest. Okay, good mechanic. Time only advances when you make new choices and dialogues. Okay, so to be clear, I need to figure out who blew up some random tea shop. Move on. More or less. But like, you've got 5 days to do it, so no stress. You're the one they sent. You best get to work, hero. Can I think about this first? Time is limited. It's just a lot to... Oh, apparently I should have just got to it. You feel dizzy and I use a hit point. The weight of the Uthgard militia uniform, a dull pain takes hold. Your body aches, its contents are rotting. You must consume an apple now. There are many apples here and corpses. Worry not of pain, care not of hunger. The city needs you. It needs your bones ground into pulver on the pavement. Do this, and your one prayer will be answered. You've been routed for far too long. Finish this task with precision and decisiveness, regain your position at the towers, and return to your true task, seizing true power in this forsaken city. Okay, if your stats are high or low enough, chimes will appear in your mind. I guess that's what they call the stat guys. It will suggest, inform, and offer unique paths. Trust them at your own risk. Seizing power? It will be a long road, one you will inevitably travel, to surpass the arcanists of old and become Wizard God King. Alright, thank you, voices in my head. Apple. Taking that right now. Nope, no. Consume. Get my hit point back. What is this? Behold! This is yours, is it? I don't know, is it? What is it? Trifle it. +1 dex, -1 charisma. You sprawled on the iron slab. As you grab it, you immediately feel the dampness spreading into your gloves. Earthgod cloak add-on. It had been ripped to shreds at the base, but you could still... It has been ripped to shreds at the base, but you could still use it. Please don't. That thing is disgusting. Bring out the water. The filthy liquid falls to the floor of the stony chamber. It is still quite wet. Weigh it in your hands. It is heavy. Should I wear this? No. I'm not a rogue. Think about it. You reach your fancy red pouch of holding. Cloak slips easily inside into the extra dimensional space with a satisfying slurp. I really love my pouch of holding. Yes, you're so very lucky. There are like 1,000,000 crowns on the market. These are like 1,000,000 crowns on the market. This kind of magic item can go upwards of 10,000 crowns. Of course, you don't truly own this pouch of holding. It's property of the state, treated as such. Epic items temporarily alters your ability scores. Okay. Well, where did I see a pouch of... Okay, so this is considered my pouch of holding. It's just I don't have a backpack. I just have the pouch. Please don't put it on. Fair enough. Divine Shrine covered in apples. Let's engage with that. The runes fill your senses as you approach. The center you see his red eye watching you over you, yet the color is faded. The monument is hollow, void of all life and divinity. And worse, it's covered in rotten apples. A sacred shrine left in this state is an insult to Earth and all of his people. Indeed. Yet you are very much aware that this is not the worst you will see. You'll have to fight hard to keep Earth's dream afloat. The city is lost, but it is not yet lost. Remove the apples. It does not take long for you to remove some of the nasty apples away from the front of the shrine. Are these rare? No, you'll find shrines like this all over Norvik. Right here? To what exactly? To Earth, of course. Earth. I need to pray to Earth. You may pray as you wish. I'm going to kneel and move on. The shrine towers over you. You feel small. To cast spells, you must first prepare them at shrines. Prayer spells can be cast when the cleric has a reason to do so, either in or out of dialogues. Each cast expends 1 spell slot of the corresponding level. What other gods are there? Many. You know a few. Earth Father of Norvik. Toki the Gambler. Seems like a goblin trickster. These are not actual gods, are they? No, not gods, technically. It's complicated. These are the common divine avatars known to the various folk in Norvik. A ruse played by powers and beyond. Ridiculous. Let's prepare our spells. To the right, you may view a list of all the spells you have. In order to cast spells, you need to first prepare them by approaching shrines. Read spell. You wish to prepare, fill its empty slot to the right. At the bottom left, you may view your current spell slots. Each circle represents 1 spell slot that you may expend to cast a spell. You may only cast spells when there is a use for them. When a spell is castable during a specific situation in dialogues, the spell tile button of that particular spell will be lit up. Spell tile buttons can be found next to your spell slots once you have finished preparing your spells. And then currently I only know Cure Wounds. Okay. Well, let's, right. Fair enough. I guess I have to prepare them, right? Since I already engaged with it. Oh, and let's do this. Well, no, you know what? Let's hold off on that for a minute. And then we have, okay. So this is our little button to see, like, what else is out here. See, this is why I knew I was going to get Shield of Faith. So I picked up a scroll of Shield of Faith, which is now, is it part of my spell book? Pick it up yet? There we go. It has now been memorized. So I can now pick it, but I don't have it yet. Okay, it's not a big deal. What's this voter card? Very important piece of paper. Okay, what is it? -1 intelligence. I'll pick it up because it's mine, but I'm not gonna equip it because I'm not lowering my intelligence. I'll examine it. Surprisingly thick piece of paper with a shaking hand. XP. Slightly torn out, has clearly been drenched at some point. Top it says Rost Court in big bold letters. What is that? Meaning voting card. Okay. 5 days remaining. Oh, right. This election. It was nice not to think about it for once. Useless. We should just get a God King again. Worked great last time. That'd be the best. Unfortunately, there's no good candidate available. Apart from yourself, of course. Look at the list of parties. Nationalist Party of Norvik. Freestrider, the Revolutionary Party. Asculus Workers' Party. Agrarian, the Rural Party. And Arcanist, a Party of Magic. Yeah. Very minor political party. And finally, the last box doesn't say anything. This is where you can input whatever you want or just leave it empty for a null vote. Box next to each party is filled in with a smudge checkmark, including the last empty one. Are all these parties? No. But a dozen other large parties in Norvik. Most have been subsumed over the last few years, such as the Civic League of Progressives, the Torch Union, Order of Scales, Hedonist Party, and various guild parties. The Agrarians and Arcanists are the only ones who have not joined the larger party or fallen aside. How's this thing work? After you pick it up at the district office, you need only to check the box of one of the 5 parties. Then you deliver it on election day to a polling place. Well, in your case, you need to write in the name of the party you want in the corner, along with a signature. Since you filled out every box like an idiot. Good to know. So a pile of apples. These apples are not in pristine condition. Should these be stored alongside corpses? No, it is a health hazard. It's certainly a violation against the city code, probably. Whose apples are these? Not yours. The only apple farm in Norvik would be the Goblin Garden. These apples are property of the HBWT. Very well. Corpse under a blanket. Shade of blue rag is draped over the outline of someone. Human male over 40. Check under the rag. Underneath, find the cold corpse of a human. Looking over him, you find hair, pale skin. He's got a beard too. Okay, not very. And he was alive once. Yeah, fantastic deduction. Mid-40s factory worker, Ascani blood. One of the 8 bands of the coast. It's a cold mountainous realm. Is your home. So we have a factory worker. Interesting. His complexion showed nearly no decay, most likely living under the effect of a preserving spell. Most likely under the effect of a preserving spell. The DC of a dice choice is determined by how challenging that roll will be for you. Okay. Select the dice choice, then roll on a 20-sided die. If you get the same die, okay, you'll succeed on that roll. Yeah. Examine him closer. DC. Yeah, I'm intelligence based. Let's go. Beautiful. Man, I'm so glad I beat an effortless roll. That would have been really bad. There's something strange here. This is no regular gentle repose, 2nd level necromancy. Okay, so this is not gentle repose. Look close, but do not move the corpse. Lean in and look closer. Signs of being either a hard worker or a careless worker litter his skin. Cause of death appears to be not directly visible. No blunt trauma either. Considering his age and the shape of the body, the man most likely died of a common disease or internal failure. Well, that's pretty broad and vague. Unless you're willing to start cutting, that's all you'll get. Except, what? There's also a marking on the right leg. A circle with a cross inside of it. Paul, that's a marking of PR. Potential revivification. Oh, right, this guy can be revived. Seems so. He most likely died during care and was granted immediate gentle repose. Except we know it wasn't gentle repose. However, he clearly did not have an RF, a revive fund, nor did he have family members with enough ready cash. Type of life insurance. Monthly payments must be made into an account. Can be used to pay for the resurrection of fallen hoarder, given they're under the age of 75, which is the human scale. Okay, that's an interesting way. You know, so many D&D campaigns do not have a system in place, even though that magic exists. It's not ingrained in the society, which is always just ridiculous. And as a DM, I try to do that when I'm running a game. So I'm very impressed that they took this step to make this a believable thing. And of course it would be profiteered. Of course you'd have to make some sort of monthly payment. Third level necromancy spell, if used within 60 seconds of death and the body isn't too ruined. But yeah. Pure resurrection is a 9th level spell. People bringing anyone back from the dead to life. If you believe in the legends, there are many different tales with different takes on the restrictions, but generally you cannot be used on a creature that's been dead for over 200 years. Okay. Yeah, so all that, or perhaps he's just an unlikable fellow. Fair enough. You cover up the corpse want more. Should I cast Revivify on this guy? No, because it wouldn't work because he's been dead longer than 60 seconds. So who was this guy? So he spent his whole life toiling away for nothing, but then why would he have a Revivify fund? Sad way to view a life of valuable hard work. Oh, I agree. Honorable hard work. It's okay to loot him, White. Yeah, as long as he didn't wake up or anything. It'd be dishonorable. Only take that which you need for your quest. Grave robbing is frowned upon by some, even in these enlightened times. Either way, you will not get in trouble. No one will know. Why is he here? This is a morgue, a lich house, clearly. A mortuary. That's an interesting word called a lich house, given the connotation that lich has. A holding space for dead bodies during times of undeath. They are known to be heavily guarded. I mean, taking his app on his money. Okay, that was actually very interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna rock a save here real quick. What else do we have? This guy. A guy. He looks indecisive. You approach a shambling man. Apple pile. He does not acknowledge your presence. Greetings, citizen. Oh, zombie. Glancing under his hood, you can catch a blank expression on a dried face. Okay. Man does not appear to react in any way to being poked. This is a reanimated corpse. Probably a work zombie, although it has been illegal to employ undead since the Bone Purge of 11. A citywide effort on 11 PE to stop necromancers from outcompeting mortal staffed factories, which again, of course they would. Of course they would, and I appreciate that Christopher and his crack team of storytellers has thought to fictionally position this kind of magic again in this society. Sir, are you a member of the undead? You legally sir, are you a cop? You have to tell me. Legally. I found this voting card. Is it yours? No, we already know that. It just keeps working slowly. You grip the coding card. It is indeed yours. Keep it safe. You're very rude. Do you know that? It appears to rattle a bit. Everything surrounding the so-called democratic process is madness. Everyone should just vote for me to be their god wizard king. That way I can solve all their problems through magical dictatorship. It's a naive thought, but honestly, there's no other good way forward. You have become an arcanist. Gain 10 XP for choosing this political stance 2 times. Your genius will enlighten the masses. It simply must be. The zombie does not object to your campaign speech. In fact, the zombie does not react at all. Am I boring you? The zombie carefully places another apple on top of the pile. Clearly a weak man left to rot below his indecisive nature. What is he doing? He seems to be fussing over apples or something. Should I defeat this zombie? Yes, it is only just. Undead are not allowed to be in Norvik. You should probably speak with the owner first. Okay. I will listen to my intellect, and then I will rely on strength. You may not de-equip your helmet. That's interesting. Questing tree. All right. Okay, so I have unlocked some concepts, and it looks like over here, under political affiliations, I have unlocked Arcanist. And then the corpse under the lit challenge seems to be fresh and ready for Revivify. That would cost quite a bit of money to bring it back. Almost a month's rent. And the tea shop investigation. We've already been through the inventory. We've got the journal here in terms of like the city. Man, I really like the look of that map. And the UI, by the way. This is just a thing of beauty. Thank you for telling me about the Revive Fund. All right, and then my spell book, which okay, got it. All right, and let's take a look at good morning. I wish I kept the text box out here a little bit so I could, in case I'm doing something like I am now. The Red Eye of Birth. Jor left his mark across the bands. Today is a universal sign of magic. Behold. Trifle it. Yeah. Got stuff and I need stuff. I have nothing. Do not consume these sludgy liquids. Thank you for the advice. I'm gonna go talk to that guy, but I'm just seeing if he's gonna interrupt me again or let me just kind of poke around. Stealing the incense. I believe incense, what's it do? Gonna recover first level spell slot. So that's very interesting. Pictone on the iron slab. Engage with it. There are fine handwritten letters across the pages. You can read these symbols, but they are in old draconic Dremorian. De verbis draconum ars oculata. These words translate into something akin to occult dragon speech. The author's name to be Picalum de Minori. Can I translate this? No. Old draconic. Yes, the tongue of the dragon masters of old Diminor. Humans served them faithfully centuries before the Arcanist rose up against them. Interesting. I need to get my hands on comprehend languages. Yes, you do. It is highly annoying that you seem to have lost your memorization. I agree. Find a spell scroll. Maybe you could buy it somewhere. It's fairly common. Right, so we need to remember to come back to that. No, too much reading. Okay, engage with it. So many books, basic manuals, Arcanist histories, novels. Some of them stand out to you as classics. It could be useful to refresh your mind. Yeah, we're going to go through these. A classic. You kept your book on this. You kept this book on your bedside table for years during your scribing years. Take a look at the first page. About magic and stuff. I'm just clicking through this stuff just because I've read it already before. Power is not born of the blood nor inherited by the fortunate birth, but is cultivated in the crucible of the mind. That seems reasonable. Really dig. Yeah, a glorious design. Let those who learn lead. The merit of their ability and nothing else. Yep, I really do dig that idea. Of course you do. You're a wizard after all. And a wizard being a book-learned arcane spellcaster. Yep. The world would be better if I ruled it like Prax did. Yes, it would. Flip through the pages. Become even more of an Arcanist, gaining 50% XP for choosing a stance 3 times. In the second half, he begins to talk about his early political career. The rest is mostly a connection of meditation surrounding magic and power. A strong leader with clear intent. The esoteric in its purest form is neither good nor evil. It is a tool, a force to be wielded by those with the intellect to do so. Yet let's not be so naive as to think that the power alone grants the right to rule. The Arcanist must also be a statesman. For the whims of unchecked magic can lead even the wisest astray. Govern with an iron hand, but let the hand be guided by the principles of reason and justice. Thus shall the state prosper, and thus shall the legacy of the magocracy endure. In the halls of power, the arcane shall be our shield and our sword. Yet remember this, the Arcanist's duty is not only to himself, but to the state and its people. In the endless pursuit of knowledge, one must not forget the price of ignorance. A vigilant mind is the guardian of civilization, and a vigilant state the fortress of progress. Let no shadow fall upon our vigilance, for in the light of our knowledge lies the path to true dominion. The final parts of the biography focuses on an even deeper and more rambling side of ruling. Bunch of folk tales. These stories shape reality. From the mind does not distinguish a tale from a real life lesson. They are but the same. Out of the tales you see, the one you remember the most, the one about the gnome and the titan, a gigantic creature who first inhabited and shaped Jor's realms. Read A Little and the Large. In the old days when dragons ruled the skies, titans wandered the earth. There lived a gnome named Abacus, and far and wide as half-wit. Whether by fate or folly, he often found himself in the oddest of places, and so it was he stumbled into a deep valley of Baskin. This is way too much for me to read, I'm sorry, in terms of like voice acting. Again, I'm not a voice actor. He did some stuff, he found some things. His great trembling with rage, he searched for the source of destruction. His eyes fell upon Abacus, who was running aimlessly, and suddenly his tiny mind more puzzled by the sudden darkness than anything else. To think that the coast was filled with these beasts of yore at one point. They reigned harshly and wildly. But it's not hard to see why some preferred their chaotic dominance to the tyranny of dragons. So it was interesting. So we had like magic giants, then we went to dragons, then we went to arcanists, and now we're voting. Okay. Who dares bring fire to where none should come? Alex looked up, squinting through the fog, and scratched his head. I have no fire to share. The dragon's days are surely done. Guide me now to where he lies. Together we shall dim his skies. It was on a wax about the friendship sparks between this eldritch titan and the silly little gnome as they sought out Esuth on his throne. The ancient ring dragon then falls to the titan's might after Abacus accidentally guides him to the correct location. I think he did it accidentally. One of those classic stories that every child in Askin is told growing up. It's important to remember that this is an oral tale passed down over generations. This is simply the shape in which it was written down. Who knows exactly how it functioned in its original state? All right. And collect the chance. Printed edition of Peely's work, but still old, probably came from the earliest Norwegian printers. First page of short messages hand scribbled in the corner. My belief lay in the collected humanity of Norvik. May you remember that from this collection, with honor and grace, Philly D. It's a handwritten message from the second patriarch himself. Protect the book with your life. This is a sacred artifact. Fascinating to think the Pale Man held such a treasure on his shelf. The book begins with a lengthy essay about the foundation of Norwegian cultural values. It's like a guide, if anything. What a person is, yada yada. You've read this before, but do you get a better sense of what it all means now? It is, in some sense, a plea, a stern suggestion for every human in Norvik to lose any sense of formal tribal identity, to embrace a new one, or Norvikian spirit. It directly explains how a new Norwegian culture will help the city grow and fight against inequity and injustice through unity, mainly by being generous and not hoarding wealth, among other things. Then finally, it does touch upon the connection with the dwarves as well, and how the Norwegian spirit is not contained with humans alone. It is not just blood, it is sweat and tears as well. Those folk who unite with us will not be seen as other. No, they are two Earth's folk. They are two Earth's guard. It's a long ass forward. That's a lovely sentiment. Indeed, there is something to live up to. Read the lament. Okay, nice little poem. It's your favorite. It's my favorite poem? Okay. Take it. It does not belong in this foul place. place the book in your pouch. Sell it, you will protect it. Even if taking it from the hold of the pale man makes you feel conflicted. You see the mortician staring at you, and he gives you a thumbs up. Turn the thumbs up. Well, that makes it less exciting. He might just be a kind-hearted man below that mask of his. Leave the books alone. All right, so we have a permission to take this book. Where's this one? You know this already. Trifle it. Sense. What is that? Trifle it. This is trifle it. I'm gonna trifle everything. A ruined prayer book. Why is it? It's -3 intelligence. What? The book is ruined. Most of the pages, while drying up, and completely drenched in salt water. It is absolutely and completely ruined. That is unacceptable. Only a few pages of the soggy brackenish papyrus are still readable. They appear to contain some sort of undecipherable symbols. That's county writing, all the most basic kind. Someone has attempted to dry this to the best of their ability. No, no, no. This is your prayer book. So many hours wasted. You would have to rebind the whole thing. It is ruined. And that'll cost a fortune. A chant book is able to sustain humidity, not underwater excursions. You should have protected Earth's chants more carefully. What a disgrace. Take the ruined prayer book. Do we have... And I'm not equipping anything. Oh, okay, so these actually do. You know what? Up. I'm gonna do this. Yeah, heck yeah. I'm gonna get the strength boost. I'm a fan of things that boost. I don't know why I would ever put on a book anything that's gonna reduce my stats. Okay, so cool. Anything else over here? Unlock chest full of strange rocks. Trifle it. I'm not causing any trouble. That cause trouble. These are unattended rocks. A bright rock. Fits in your hand nicely. These can be found all over Norvik. Some circulate there. Shards of Jorah's pillar. Untrained hands, and they have no inherent value to untrained hands, but you might find a use for them. Alter fate itself. Spend in dialogues to unlock dice checks. Oh, isn't that nice? All right. That's done. Let's rock a save here real quick. Just because I don't want to have to repeat any dialogue here, and let's go ahead and is there anything else interesting? So, oh yeah. So it's interesting that like different characters that you are looking at to do the behold, it requires different stats. I noticed that in the demo. I'm not sure I like that, but I guess it makes it so you don't have to rely on like wisdom as your only stat that you need to pump to in order to like get the lay of the land, you know, to be able to assess somebody. But so it's being a little democratic and spreading this around. From what I could tell, like different people require different stats, but it does feel kind of weird because it doesn't, like, I don't know why it will pick intelligence for one person and a different stat for somebody else. I also think I should have to, you know, I'd rather have the chance to pick to say like, yeah, even though the DC might be higher if I use intelligence when I'm looking at a character that might be easily more perceptible with wisdom, I should be able to use the stats that are my worldview stats. And right now that is strength and intelligence. This just happens to line up this time, but anyway, that would have been my preference, but it is what it is. Let us behold this gentleman. 17, not bad. So the only thing we didn't get was a DC 20, and we can no longer behold him. He is a Reeds folk, so he was of the former Arcanist area. It's an entrepreneur. Pale Man handles corpses in the basement. He was a self-employed city contractor. He used to be a dentist and a surgeon. His study in the far magical realm is immense, far beyond your capabilities. Some of these texts surrounds himself with would suggest he can cast 5th or 6th level spells. Couldn't be higher, could it? 20 intelligence, impressive. Yeah, 16 charisma. Yeah, I wish I had this guy's stats. All right. He has been beheld. Let's talk to the man. The man sits hunched over a stack of forms, busy at work, his pencil slowly filling out line after line. On the top paper, you see an icon of a serpentine drake. A great perch. These are official documents. Okay. Great perch of Norvik. Up and about, are we? Wonderful. I am Viskin, local entrepreneur and proprietor of the Lich House. It appears you don't really belong here, but if there's anything I can do, cleric, just let me know. Typically a divine spellcaster. Yeah, he smiles at you. This person emanates an immense power. Foul? Perhaps. More accurately, it is simply there, immovable, eternal. Beware. Maybe Lich House has a double connotation in this particular case. Did you save my life? He puts down his pen. Your life is your own. You owe me nothing. However, I'm afraid to say you've been through quite the turmoil, cleric. Tell me everything. Of course, it must be confusing. To tell you the truth, some fishermen brought you here last night. They caught you in their net. Took you for a corpse. Not that I blame them. You weren't exactly in prime condition. Wait, how did you end up in the river? How did I end up in the river? Not a river. The river. I'm afraid I don't have much to tell. Perhaps you fell off one of those bridges in Tolstad. To Tolstad. There are 7 bridges over the river Torna connecting Tolstad to the rest of the city. I must have slipped, happen all the time. Perhaps there's an esoteric explanation to all of this. Perhaps you would know, cleric. Who are these fishermen? River guilders, I believe. They did not look like poachers, so my guess would be that. Where can I find these fishermen? I ponder your question. I did not ask for names, sorry to say. But perhaps Waterlane? It's just a guess. Either that or the local tavern. I hope you find them. I have some other questions. Figured this guy out. I did not. Yeah, it's a 31 DC. Yeah, I'm not going to waste my time. There's a zombie in your basement. Oh? How quaint. No, an undead abomination right below. I understand. We're closely connected with the city below. Sure, for the city below the city, it frees you to describe the incredible amount of tunnels and ruins below Norvik. Lots of monsters and stuff down there, also riches if you delve deep enough. However, I will take this up with the Lady Sageleaf. I pay good crowns for HWBT protection. Crowns of the Norvikian crown, the main coinage in Norvik. Oh, so it's all a misunderstanding him. Good. No. They kept moving apples around down there. Oh, the apples? Fascinating behavior. You don't seem very alarmed about this. A stranded creature will cause no trouble here. He gives you a rare smile and turns to the kobold by the stairs. Isn't that right, Ost? Yes, master. Again, I said it when I played the demo. This kobold design is the best kobold art I have seen in probably since like some of the original D&D designs. Like this person understood the assignment. Wait, I don't actually believe you. Do I want to go that route? Why is it underlined? I'm gonna say it anyway. What do you mean, cleric? You must be punished. The zombie is clearly working for you. That's illegal. You're doing something weird here. I don't like it one bit. The zombie is clearly working for you. That is illegal. I greatly apologize for putting you in this situation. It is my neglect that led to this undead creature entering the tower. I'll make sure to tighten up security in the future. This isn't Ost. Do a clean sweep of the basement this evening. Get ready. Kobold gives out a screeched yell. Yes, master. I will also make sure to report this to both the HWBT and the militia. You're clearly doing something shady here, so I'm trying to say you need to pay for. I'm gonna say doing something shady. Well, pay for is he might take it as the other way around. You know what? I'm gonna say pay for. This seems vague. Of course, I'll be sure to ask for a thorough inspection by the PGC. The payment is twisting the entire situation. Smart. If there's anything unbecoming about my business here, it should be uncovered and unveiled. Thank you very much for your service, cleric. It's because of a great man like you that the city still stands. I'm sure a good word to your patriarch will assure a promotion of some kind as well, especially with this great work you're doing on the tea shop. This. Make him quiet. Resist his incredible oratory power or strength DC. Make him shut up. DC 18. I do have a +6. I do have a +6. Do I really want to get in conflict with somebody who is a fellow arcanist, clearly, or some sort of arcane user, who is an immensely powerful individual? Do I really want to do this? I've already technically won. I'm fighting over a zombie at this point. Do I care enough to do it? I think I try it and prepare to fail, because that's the interesting decision. And strength is one of my paragon, my proficient abilities. So it's reigning very strong in my head, even though I know you're supposed to proceed with caution. And this might be stupid. I think I give it a shot. Success. You feel a red veil cover your vision. Muscles clenching. You know what to do. Slam your fist into the stone desk. No. Before the pale man gets out another word, your glove fist hits the stone side desk with a loud thud. For the first time, you see a genuinely baffled expression appear on his face. And then pain. Slowly, you lift your broken fist off the desk. Cleric, you've broken the law, mortician. Oh, it is time to pay. Despite the pain, you feel like a real man. I don't know about that, but sure. The pale man takes a deep breath. He reaches below and brings forth a pouch. An isolated incident, it will not be repeated. He hands it to you. 25 crowns or a broken hand? Crowns? As a city cleric, you obviously have the ability to accept Dagsbalter on behalf of Norvik. Violation of the Bone Purge Code, Article 4. In singular violation cases, a Dagsbalter of a minor class is issued. In relation to my status as a Tolstad business owner, that's precisely 25 crowns. How does he know that? Well done. Justice has prevailed. Now that this issue is behind us, is there anything else you needed? I require assistance with some things. So what do you know about spell casting? Quite a bit. If he knows more than you, then it could be useful to listen. The prayer book is ruined. Yes, I noticed. Just speak to Shen down on Water Lane View, a bookbinder. Very well. It'll cost you, but he could fix it up right. He could fix it right up. As a cleric, you obviously only need your faith to cast spells, but I'm sure a spellbook won't hurt in the long run. Can you teach me magic? A slight smirk creeps onto his face. I sadly don't have time for a proper lecture at the moment. After the election, I can make time, if you're interested. Great. Great knowledge awaits. Until then, you're free to browse my collection, he says, glancing at the many books along the western wall. And of course, here, Charm Person. Copy of Charm Person. It will surely be useful to you. A truly diabolical spell. The Towers, the Order of Arcane Clerics, only teach to higher tier spellcasters usually, despite its first level. Lovely. Now you can make people like you. I get more spells. 2 ways. You could spend time learning them, drafting pages out of the Palace Archives, or the Great Library in the Towers, since you obviously would have access to that. However, I don't believe you have the time for either of those options, so I would suggest the other route, which is, or what's that? Spell scrolls. Ah, yes, right. Spell scrolls with spells on them. Indeed. This whole stat is filled with all kinds of string caches. Perhaps you could encounter more just by looking around. You get your hands on a scroll, then just memorize it. Cantrips or spells, doesn't matter. I'm sure you're talented enough to memorize them on the spot. Sure, thanks. He nods and goes back to his writing. If you want to practice, feel free to cast anything non-lethal on my servant Ost. Treating a servant like that is despicable. Sounds like good practice. These are both my what I'm calling my paragon abilities, but I do favor intelligence more so than strength. Perhaps I will. You know, slowly. Called me cleric with air quotes. I did, yes. What gave it away? He stops for a second and glares at you. A heavily armored man in earth-colored colors with a prayer book on his hip. Thoughts land on the pages of spells you meticulously worked on for years. They might have found you in the river, but you're clearly of city stock. I am indeed the cleric. Good for you. Class conflict. What's that? Your purpose is here. You serve the city as a cleric of the river. No, I'd love to ask, what type of cleric are you? Type? Yeah, if you're clergyman, you might run a congregation for a local religion or deity. Holy man on a holy mission. Then there are clerics of bureaucratic variety, city officials speaking for the religious state. You, however, must be an arcane cleric. You are correct. I am an arcane cleric. I figured as much when I saw your spell book. Or do you call it a prayer? Still call it a prayer book? Either way, you're clearly playing George strings as much as you channel this divinity. The way that he says divinity is a little derisive, it sounds like to me, and how that's written. The Pale Man knows a lot of your training. Interesting. That's all the help I need, thanks. We'll be going now. Before you do, make sure to collect all your belongings. Did I have any weapons on me? None, I'm afraid. They must be at the bottom of the River Torna. Damn, you must be able to pick something up new, maybe a warhammer. What belongings are you referencing? Okay, quite a lot. Your uniform, your cloak, and also a voting card. Peculiar voting card. Every party had been marked on it. I'm assuming it's yours. I'm not sure if it's mine. Maybe, possibly. What's your comment? I asked us to lay the starting pages of your spellbook to dry over there. Yeah, I got them. He looks at the pocket watch on the desk. That's an esoteric pocket watch. You may have a cleric. It surely may prove useful to you. Beyond that, you should be good to go. Got it. Penman turns his face towards you and smiles. Only every government employee was devoted as you, cleric. He gives you a stern expression. Good luck on your quest. Exploring the city, you may move faster by running. To do so, either double click or hold the ship. Okay, yeah. And then we gotta grab this thing. So what is this? Pocket watch, is it yours? I believe it is now. Well, hello. What do you do? Silverline timepiece never shows the correct time of day. It is always at least 10 hours out of alignment, no matter how much anyone tries to correct it. At a touch, you can feel the faint magic pulsing within. The wielder gains a greater perception of the esoteric happenings and occurrences within 200 feet. +1 intelligence and advantage in all esoteric events. No, hello. Where to put here? I'd say that's an accessory. Well, what do I do with it? When I right click, it just sends me out of the stuff. So, yeah, do I put it on? That's a weapon. Okay, yeah, put it in here. So these are accessories. These are not. So text and accessories over a different spot. So hey, we are +1 intelligence here, and we're up to strength. We've already found a couple things. We have an advantage in our esoteric checks, which is we're already good at. That's a good sign. Okay, let's talk to Os. This is what I'm talking about. So I need dexterity to check him out. I don't know why. I just do. My dexterity is absolutely terrible. Someone's quite hostile. Stay on your feet. I know he's a kobold. Fantastic. Wiggling his little clawed feet, the kobold follows every move with cold, unflinching yellow eyes. Even a small blade can feel giant. Even a small blade can feel a giant. Watch out for this one. Master say you behave. I have some questions for you. Who are you? I'm Ost, Chief Security in Lich House. You're kobold. Not question. Next. Try to save the question? No. Think of a less explosive question. How'd you get this gig? Not gig. What is it then? I'm a devoted servant from Master. Keep going. So you're a slave? Not slave. And your master is Master Viscount. And he owns you? Not own, serve. Oh, so you're being paid. Yes, paid well. Must be very well for such fierce devotion. Gives you an expression that could be described as a frown. That is, if it looked in any way different from his regular expression. Can I borrow your crossbow? Human is kidding. Not funny. You would make greater use of it. This puny creature, just take it. Kobold snorts, go away. Don't let this slide. Just take the crossbow. Was it a question? It was a demand. Okay, so these underlying things must be indication of conflict. It wasn't a question. Kobold stares at you for a moment. Yes, it was. Oh, maybe it was. You know what? In for a penny, in for a pound. Kobold stares at you as you approach. Don't think it, he says, glaring. Just go for it. The crossbow isn't even loaded. Begin encounter? I don't know. The beginning of encounter sounds like that's a little much for a guy with 3 hit points. Where were you when the tea shop incident occurred? Tea shop blow up. Boom. Did you boom it? The kobold makes a cackling noise. I wish. Tea shop explosion would be fun to set up. When it happened, I was on water lane on mission. Mission? Not mission. I meant to say errand. What are you doing on water lane? Milk. You were doing milk? Deliver. You deliver milk? Yes, side hustle. Kobolds don't even drink milk. I want to know more. Ask questions about the milk. Well, it stares at you. The milk situation is intense. Where does the milk come from? Cows? Where do you get the cow milk? Market. Who buys the milk? Humans, waterlane humans. They pay many for fresh milk before dawn. It pays. Do you like milk? No. You're missing out. Kobold doesn't seem to crave the white liquid despite your comment. Don't have anything else to ask about milk. Milk curious. Gain experience. Thank you. You're welcome. This knowledge could be very useful. You probably shouldn't look too deeply into this. That's probably no money to be made in milk, right? Well, let's check our little thought tree here because the milk curious thing is hilarious. Crown collection, coin captured, cash kidnapping. There are many ways to describe it. Get rich or die trying. So yeah, side gig. All right, so check line water lane in the morning. If your river adventure, you'll spend because ruin, find a service provider. You can do it. Okay. Well, we have to heal. Number 1. No. I want to go here. And that's everything. I got to go back down to the basement here, though. Because I thought there was a way to heal at the shrine. And I want to make sure I do that because I'm down to 3 hit points. So engage with the shrine. I can prepare spells again. Oh yeah, let's do all 3. And then I want to engage. Wait, can I heal or something through divine assurance? Yes. Possibly. The guides are kind to you. Do you think they care? If you want healing, you have to do it yourself. Of course you can heal here, but only if you pray hard enough. Attempt of prayer of healing. -3. A failure? But the DC... I rolled it. I was... But... Okay, oh yeah, I got a 12. I focus on their symbol, his red eye. Said a few words. They converge on you and mend you. Okay, so I did get something. Well, that's something. Sure it is, but you sense there's something you've missed. So it wasn't Earth that healed me. What were those words? The ones you learned at the towers. All right. We are so back. Again, I'm going to rock another save now that we're fully healed. There's a way to like write in. Oh, there is. Okay. So I could just write in. I'm going to write in Leviticus here. And that way I just have one save that I can keep coming back to and understand where it is. Because I don't, yeah, it's kind of frustrating. There's no way to delete a save. Like the auto saves, if I want to clear them out to kind of like make it less cluttered. Interesting. Cool. Well, we've been at this for like an hour, 14 minutes. Let me see if I can deal with this zombie, and this will be the last thing we do, and then I'll call it a day for now. Engage. Attack. Yes, deal with this foul creature. Encounters are turn-based conflicts where each participant takes a turn at rolling dice, taking actions. During your turn, you're able to perform one dice action as well as cast one spell of your choosing. The order is determined by an initiative roll. Don't let the shambler get the jump on you now. So a dexterity check for initiative, which I'm terrible at. 9. He's worse. Fight! Round 1, fight! Sorry, I'm going total Street Fighter on this. You're quick, you got this. Your turn, show him no mercy. Strength, shove him. Yeah, DC 8. Yeah. Like the music change. Putting your weight into it, you push the zombie backwards. He attempts to stabilize himself while stumbling around. Slow zombie just stands there. No, he's reacting. It just takes some time. The zombie is hostile. This undead abomination must be apprehended before he causes damage to innocents. You should probably try to de-escalate. Just a tip. Grab him, get his arm, switch gears, try to manipulate him. Nah. You successfully grab his arms, your thick gloved hands wrap around his frail wrist and keep him stable. He's not getting away now. His neck snaps around, his withered face now facing yours. Yeah, you really pissed him off. I'm glad I have a helm on. At least I can't get bit through the helm. You could tell since you're such a people person. Zombie bites down on you hard. Oh. It hurts even through the armor. This ends now. Finish this with a sucker punch. No! Why am I so terrible? I had advantage. Powerful iron fist seemingly gets no weight behind it. It hits the zombie's hide. It feels like hitting a damn wall. Your fist cracks. You hit a bad angle on its protruding rib cage. Great job. Zombie appears unmoved as you stumble backwards. It's no longer hostile to you. Grab your hand and groan and leave. Man, that sucked. I want to get over here and suck just this stuff out. Can I heal again at the shrine? Or is it gonna be like, yeah, sorry, you gonna suck. Spend 1 shard to unlock? Yeah, spend 1 shard to unlock. Fucking won! Oh my gosh. It's just, at least I got something back, but like, all right, I'm done here. You know what? I'm counting my blessings. I'm counting my blessings. That went terrible. I'm counting my blessings. We are gonna save it right here and overwrite this. Yes. And we are gonna call it this episode because I have lost combat with a zombie. I feel really bad about that. Man, I went terrible. It was going really good until it wasn't. I can't believe I blew that advantage roll. Man. All right. Hey, thanks for sticking with me. I appreciate this. Normally I try to keep them under an hour. We ran over that this time, so I'll try to be more aware. I just kind of got sucked into the game. So I appreciate it. And yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.